Good evening, viewers. Welcome to tonight's show. And today we have the young and dynamic actor Partha Ray from Orissa. Welcome, Partha.
Hello, ma'am. Good evening.
Yeah, yeah.
How are
So
you doing?
some of you who would have been yesterday with us would have watched him as well. He was on our show as well. Thank you for joining us, Partha.
My pleasure, ma'am.
Yeah. So, for all of you who are thinking, who is Partha? So, let me just give you a short brief on how on the kind of uh, career that he has had. So, let's look at some of his pictures. So, you see that what we have come to understand is that Oriya movies have started changing and have become more realistic. And this, I think, Partha is with your co-star.
Yeah, she is my co-star from the movie Charitra, and she was also there in Falguna Chaitra. We have done
Yes,
two films together.
yes. And here again, I think the second shot where you are near the car.
Yes, that is from movie Charitra. I mean, that was the look test. I mean, when we were
Ah,
preparing the look for the movie,
okay.
it was from
Were you
that
a police
moment.
officer or something?
I was playing an IS, young IS officer,
Okay, okay. Yeah,
a
you
bureaucrat.
look the role, yes. And then you have Buffin, which is a very famous movie because, see, in this movie, Partha actually not lost weight. I think you did not have your bath or something for so many days. Is
Yes,
that
ma'am.
is that true? You try to fit
I
into the
was wearing
character of
this same I wore this dress for 5 6 days and
yeah,
tried to sweat it out in that dress only. It was the COVID
yeah,
period, so we were not allowed outside, but we were allowed to get our groceries and other stuff from outside. So I lived in those clothes for 5 6 days. I did not brush and bathe for 4 5 days, for
yeah,
more than 5 days, and during the shoot also I tried to dirty my clothes because
yeah.
that was the idea behind
To look
this
as
short film,
realistic, yeah,
as
realistic
real
as
as possible to this character. Yeah.
yes, yes.
I
And
could not
then
lose much weight because I didn't get much time. It was just that the director gave me 5 6 days to prepare. So whatever I could do within those 5 6 days, I mean, he just gave me an idea and told me that let's shoot it during this time because we never know when the COVID restrictions may get
yeah.
uplifted. So before that, before the restrictions are gone, let's shoot it during this particular COVID phase when it's locked down and everybody is locked inside their houses.
Yeah. So, what is the meaning of Boffin Partha in this concern?
Buffin means a very highly intellectual guy who gets confused. I mean, who's considered to be a mad person or
Hmm.
someone who's not understood by the general people or the
So,
society
were you
as
sort
a
of
whole.
influenced by the Russian authors in that?
Yes,
Dostoevsky and
I Fyodor Dostoevsky and Franz Kafka, the German
yeah,
writer.
yeah, yeah,
So I was even the movie is based on that this character is a political science pass out. I mean, he's working in some NGO, and I mean that is just a backstory. He reads Franz
yeah,
Kafka and Fyodor Dostoevsky. He's a free thinking person. He
yeah.
believes in. I mean, he speaks against pseudo capitalism,
Mm.
crony capitalism, and destruction of nature in the name of development and capitalism. He speaks against that. He speaks
Okay.
against organized religion. So he's
Ah,
that kind of a guy. He wants to be
character.
free like birds and animals. So during the
Yeah.
COVID phase, he sees that. I mean, he has gone into a phase of initial phase of schizophrenia, and he
Yeah.
sees that he doesn't see human beings, and he see birds and animals are roaming freely. So he feels happy, and he tries to enjoy and soak in that ambience and atmosphere. He's very
Okay.
happy in whatever he's seeing.
It's freedom. Yes.
His freedom, yeah.
Yeah. And here, Partha.
This is a movie called Soma Pajula Ragu. Here
Mm.
I was playing the parallel lead in the
Mm.
movie.
Yes.
There was this couple from village who had actually kidnapped my daughter, and I'm a
Mm.
very I'm a rich businessman who's actually a soft guy, he's a very loving and caring person who, but still he is going through some disturbance in his marital life. He is about on a
Yeah.
verge of separation from his wife, and
Yeah.
he has taken his daughter out for an outing, like after the court's permission. And during that phase, I mean, he's in a park where his daughter gets kidnapped. So
Okay.
he
Oh.
searches a lot. They form a rescue team, and His close friend is also a police officer. So
Yeah.
together they try to search their daughter a lot, and there have been different threats and all. So here, this he got in the police officer. They have captured this lady who had
Hmm.
kidnapped my daughter. This
Okay.
couple they had kidnapped my daughter, so they
Yeah.
could capture this lady. And
Ah.
after paying the ransom, also they had not released my daughter. So I am like
Okay.
I've got like mad. Like, you have to give me
Yeah.
my daughter. Come on, like
Yeah.
I'll
Hmm.
break you. I'll kill you if you don't do that. So
Okay.
so I'm
Okay.
I'm,
That
I'm
is
on the
a,
verge
yeah,
of like totally frustrated
breakdown.
guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, on a verge of breakdown.
Yeah. So this is, I think, from the same movie that you had mentioned earlier.
Charitra, yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
Charitra. And here you have Shekhar Kapoor, who's congratulating Partha. Partha has written that my patience and perseverance as an artist finally paid off. 3 awards for my Odia film, Hello RC, at the 65th National Awards. Congratulations to the whole team. Extremely proud. So, looking at this, Shekhar has made a comment. Congratulations on a wonderful, thought provoking film. And my best wishes to you, your actors, Partha. So can you imagine? See, first of all, let's go to the crux of the matter here. You know, everybody knows that. See, ever since the COVID started, and after the death of Sushant Singh Rajput, there has been a lull in the Bollywood industry, and they've been facing boycott Bollywood, and they're seriously under a lot of problem. It is at this time that all the attention of the public started focusing on regional movies through OTT platforms. And it is here that we found a wealth of good stories and movies, and people started watching regional films with a lot more fervor. And this not only applies to Oriya films, we're also talking about Marathi films, we're talking about Malayalam films, Tamil films. All these films, regional films started gaining attention, like Kantara. Kantara is
Kantara,
such a simple story, but the way it has been brought out. Similarly, in
the
Malayalam also,
presentation.
yes, the movie on Shabrimala, the little girl, enchanted with going to visit the temple, and how she sees, with her, the companion, as the god himself, and these are all the movies that have, made millions, and which was not expected, even
A
the
lot of
Kerala
other
story.
Malayali films also, like
Yes,
Jallikattu, Kumbalangi Nights, Trance.
yes, yes,
And I also love that superhero Malayali film called Minnal Murali. So
yes.
I don't know. I just love that movie, the way it was presented, and it was such a simple and beautiful film. And first time I saw a superhero wearing a lungi, that was such an entertaining and engaging movie. I loved it.
Yeah. So, in a sense, Partha, the Oriya movie has undergone a huge change, because earlier, it was usually copies of South Indian movies, and now the scripts have started changing, and content has become more unique. And you are in that phase where you are also playing a very important role in this change, and the kind of awards that you're winning. For example, in yes, this is Kantara, and
Kantara,
it's a brilliant movie, and
of
in
course.
this yeah, in this movie, where let me just take out, yeah, you have got an award for this movie, which is, I think, Dalchini.
Yes, man.
Yeah, and I think in Dalchini you lost around 7 kilos of weight to fit into that role.
Yes,
So
man.
could you tell us about a little bit about this experience, Partha?
Again, this is a very experimental movie, man, and it's a for the first time in Odisha, we were doing one a travel love story movie with just two
Yeah.
characters, and I would say the car that I'm driving in is like another lead in the film, and that is also a character, which is very important to the storytelling, and so it was a very experimental film, and it won some awards at few international film festivals. At Shimla International Film Festival, it won the best film at the national level, and the movie that we were finally shortlisted with and we were juxtaposed together was a Malayali film called Eva, which had already won at a lot of other international film festivals. And the jury head, Mr. Pampali, is a national award winning director who loved our movie, and he was shocked with the kind of budget that we pulled off, the quality that he saw. He
Yeah,
could not believe that we could do that within such a small budget,
small.
with a shoestring
Yeah,
budget.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean. I think animosity sometimes brings out the best in you,
Best.
and
Yes.
when you do not have much resources, it you kind of pull yourself and you pull your socks. The entire team works as a whole unit, and they kind of be very creative in how to tell different stories. So
Yeah.
Dalchini is one such story. It won the best romantic feature film at Jaipur International Film Festival. I think they announced that after 13 years, an Indian film won the best romantic feature film at
Oh,
Jaipur
is it?
International Film Festival.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah, after
great.
13 long years.
Hmm.
So that is sort of an achievement for a very small industry like us. And it also
Yeah.
won at Karnataka International Film Festival and some other film festivals, North India Film Festival, and another one, Shahid Film Festival at I don't remember the exact name of the festival, and some other festivals also it had been to. So we're really happy that within little resources, we are trying our best to bring out new stories and new forms of storytelling. So
Yeah. So do tell us a little bit about yourself, Pata, your childhood and where you grew up, and what was your ambition?
I grew up in Bhubaneswar. I mean, it was I am a like 80s kid, and in the late 80s and early 90s, I was exposed to good cinema. Like on those days, we didn't have much channels, so
Yeah.
most of the movies that we saw were on Doordarshan. There was DD1, and then DD2 came. I think late 80s or early 90s, DD2 came. So my father exposed me to a lot of national award-winning movies, regional movies on those Sunday lunch times. So that was the only break that we had, and even the Saturday evenings. On the Saturday evenings, I used to watch a lot of Shammi Kapoor movies, and I was a
Yeah.
big fan of Shammi Kapoor and Dharmendra then as a kid. And from those days only, I mean, I have been a cinema lover, and I
Yeah.
ustill play. I mean, wander around until my late teens and early 20s. I had no idea of what I want to do in life.
Yeah.
So it was Amir Khan who inspired me a lot, and the kind of movies that he used to make. I don't know that during that phase, I felt like a loser sometimes, but Amir Khan's movie gave me hope, and his triumph of human spirit kind of stories, be it Jojita Wahi Sikandar, Lagan,
Yeah.
and all those movies, those inspired me a lot. And after watching Lagan, I somehow felt that no, I should give it a try, and I want to become an actor. But I was not very sure. It was only after that, after my graduation, I went to Delhi, and I did an acting course with Mr. Barry John, a 3 months acting course where I was the topper in the batch, and Sir selected me in his professional theatre group. So during that phase, I also worked with another theatre stalwart from Delhi, who is also a big casting director, Mr. Dilip Shankar. During that phase, I enjoyed the process so much that I wanted to become an actor. With Dilip Shankar, sir, I also consider him to be my spiritual guru. When I worked with him, I felt that actors are not just mere entertainers, they are healers also. So
Yeah.
that inspired me a lot to become a professional actor.
Yeah.
And after that, it has been a roller coaster ride. I've
Yeah.
been to Mumbai,
So,
I worked there for a few years, I came back to Odisha, and now I'm working
so
here full time.
yeah. Zoya says, you seem to be a very humble and kind person. Please don't let name and fame in the industry change you ever.
That's a sweet of you, Zoya. I believe that your upbringing plays a big role in that, and
Yes. Yes.
I have been like this from a long, long time, so I don't know if I will ever change. So,
Yeah.
thank you
Yeah.
so much for your compliment and your message. Thanks a
Yeah.
lot.
So, Partha, see, from what we've been watching ever since Sushant Singh died, is that there has been a huge exposure in Bollywood, and we've been hearing a lot of other things, negative things about the film industry. And this is not only Bollywood; we're talking about everything: Tollywood, Collywood, Mollywood, where dark things like the casting couch, you know, and also the mafia play a very important role. So have you experienced any of this in your life, and would you like to talk about it?
Um, I don't know. Fortunately, I have never faced that. In Mumbai,
Yeah.
of course, it's a different ball game in Mumbai. It's a different struggle when you are totally from a non-filmy background and you are from a small town which doesn't even speak the language that happens in Hindi film industry. So it was very tough for me there when I used to go for those auditions and all. I remember I did my first ad after getting shortlisted for 47 ads. And a few of those, I had my costumes were also finalized. And the end moment, I get a call and say that client ne model change kar diya. So it is very tough in Mumbai. And before those getting shortlisted in those 47 ads, I don't know how many hundreds of auditions that I had given and how many rejections that I've faced. So it happens. I mean, when you're from outside, I feel that somehow it makes you stronger. And I would say that Nawazuddin Siddiqui or Manoj Bajpayee or Irfan Khan would never have been those great actors had they not faced rejections or humiliations for
Yeah.
a long time.
Yeah.
So it somehow makes you, it toughens you, it makes you stronger, and it makes you the actor that you really are in quest of. So I believe that is important. That struggle and rejection is important. Regarding this casting couch thing, fortunately, being a male in acting field, it doesn't happen a lot. But yes, I have faced some casting directors
Yeah.
who are homosexual and have faced
Yeah.
wrong propositions. So that happens, and I've heard from a lot of female friends that they have also been through that, and
Yes.
even in the South industry, everywhere it happens. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's not just about the film industry. Man, I've also worked in the corporate sector, and I've seen
Yeah.
these kind of
Exactly.
things happen everywhere. It happens
Yeah.
everywhere. Just that
Yeah.
because we are in a glamour profession, which is in the
Yeah.
media eye and
It's more
in the
visible.
public eye, we are in the public eye. It's more visible, and people think or to think that this is a very dirty profession, and these kind of things happen everywhere.
Yeah.
I have been to, like, after Sushant Singh case, I have seen that a lot of people say that an entire Hindi film industry or the Bollywood is a drug addict and all. I see like young teenage kids in my city also, they are into like alcohol, drug abuse, and they're into a lot of stuff. So it's not about the film industry, it is happening everywhere.
Mm.
See, the film industry is also a part of the society, and we are exactly like our society is. When we keep blaming our politicians, come on, politicians don't fall from sky. They are also a part of the society. They are like that because we
Yes.
are like that.
Mm.
So we cannot blame others and keep pointing fingers at others. We first have to set an example ourselves. The only person that you can change is yourself. So work on
Yeah.
yourself and try to be the honest person that you are. If you can
Yeah.
do that, I think everyone can achieve that, and we can be in a utopian society, which is again a very distant dream. So so
See,
these
in
kind of things happen
in
everywhere, man.
yeah, in the Malayalam film industry, there are some actors like some character who play character roles who have come out openly saying that see they don't want their children to go into movies because of the rampant drug scene. You see, so does this happen in Oreo films as well?
I won't say that a lot of people are into drugs and all, but yes, there are some people, and it's a personal thing. I think it's not about the film industry. As I mentioned, that I've seen young kids when you go to a nightclub when there are parties. I've been to some functions. I'm not much of a party freak, but sometimes you cannot avoid a few
Yeah,
parties and
yeah,
functions of close friends. I've seen like young kids, they are into like alcohol and drug abuse. I mean, it's not that it's an occasional thing. They are into it full time. And I have seen a lot of kids because I interact with a lot of people being an actor, and I get involved in the creative process of movie making as a whole in a lot of my movies. So I've seen a lot of young people, they come and approach me for work and all. I've seen a lot of people are into depression, very young people, because it happens everywhere. It's not just about the film industry. I mean, I've seen it in different sectors. And
yeah.
same goes for the casting couch thing or the
Mm,
favoritism thing. It happens everywhere. Like this bias
mm,
thing,
mm,
nepotism, it happens everywhere.
mm.
So it's not just about the film industry. If you have a dream, if you want to work hard, if you want to do a certain thing, there's no shortcut to hard work. You have to work hard
Yeah,
if you really want to be good in that profession.
yeah,
And regarding this nepotism thing, I mean, I've seen a lot of star kids who have failed big time.
yeah.
Like they might be getting a lot of opportunities, but still they're not getting the acceptance that they have sought out. I mean,
Mm,
when they started their careers, they're not getting that kind
mm,
of acceptance. You have to be talented, and if you are talented, then nobody will talk about nepotism. Like be it
mm.
Sunny Deol or Sanjay Dutt in the past, you can't call them nepo kids because they are genuinely talented. Be it Hrithik
Yeah.
Roshan, be it Ranbir Kapoor, be it Alia Bhatt, they're genuinely talented people. So nepotism doesn't apply to these people because they're genuinely talented and they've worked hard on their craft. So as long as you're doing good, then there's no question of all those things.
So, do you think that with the coming of OTT like Netflix and other OTT platforms, it has affected movies and the theater going experience?
It has affected a bit, but I would say that the magic of big screen cannot be matched. For example, Christopher Nolan movie, the recent one, Oppenheimer. it's not a small screen movie that you can enjoy on small screen. You have to go to the theaters. I watched Mission Impossible recently,
Yeah,
the
exactly.
recent Mission Impossible movie. I
Yeah,
mean, come on. I mean, if you talk about a big screen, larger than life experience, you cannot get that on a small screen.
yeah,
So Netflix and Amazon, all these things are fine. I mean, they are good platforms, and you can see a lot of movies. Maybe sometimes you are busy with a certain thing and you miss out on a few movies that then you can watch it on
you can
a
see it.
smaller
Yeah,
platform. But
yeah,
yes, I would say that, with the advent of all those OTT platforms, it has put a pressure on the big film industries. So they have to be creative now. They can't
mm,
take the audience for granted and keep churning out the same mediocre stuff they have been doing for the last like many years. So they
yeah,
have to. It's like survival of the fittest. So sometimes competition brings out the best in you. I believe the Hindi film industry also has to evolve and look at the South industry, like how they're doing good. And I'm fortunate that in our industry also we have realized that a lot of young filmmakers are coming in now and trying to do new stuff, creative concepts are coming in, and different genres of movie making have been implemented in Odia cinema also recently, which I'm really happy about. So I would say that OTT platform has a huge role to play in that.
yeah. Your, I think your friend Shreyasta is also wishing you.
Okay, that's a sweet of her.
Yeah,
Yeah, she's a nice girl.
yeah.
I've met her and
Okay. Yeah. So, Partha, see, when you look at a script, when someone approaches you with a script, how important is a character for you? Would you play a side character, or would you play only the main role? And in which case, how important is that the story? When you take a movie.
and again, I mean, it's about the depth of the character that is extremely important for me. Um, I am not like I would definitely, as an actor, we all are greedy, and I would love to play the protagonist, the main protagonist, all the time. But
Mm,
sometimes, I mean, it's not possible to get the main roles every time. It's I have done around 15 movies in Odisha, and a few, like three, four of them, I have played supporting characters. And I've played those supporting characters because I kind of try to break that trend of stereotyping. I mean, it's
mm,
very important for an actor not to get stereotyped or fit into a particular image only.
mm,
I remember I did a film called Prasthanam where I
mm,
play a Muslim community
mm,
leader who's
mm,
an aggressive guy. I did that role because it was not the main lead, but I did that role because it was important for me to break that stereotype, and I wanted to show that I can play different characters. So,
mm,
unfortunately, I've been blessed with that. I've been playing different characters. After I played that role, when that movie released, I got similar offers for three, four other movies, and I refused that. I
mm.
told them that I don't want to get typecast or I don't want those stereotypical characters. Like I don't want to be
Yeah.
typecast again. That is very important for an actor to do. It's always
Yeah,
lucrative
it's
to
very,
sign
they
more
do it
films
very
and
fast. Yeah, if you do
yeah,
one particular kind of role, yes,
yes.
they slot
For
you. Yeah.
example, I did a web series called Anthony where I was the like I was on one of the main leads, like the character who was playing Anthony, and I was playing an honest police officer. So
Mm.
after that role, everybody told me that this role suits you the best, and I got another three, four offers
More, yeah, yeah.
for similar characters.
Police
But
roles,
yes,
yeah,
there's one movie, one police officer movie that I'm about to do in the near future because that is very interesting. That's a very
yeah,
different kind of a concept. So I have agreed to do that. And other ones, I refused very politely that no, I don't want to be typecast and do similar kinds of things.
yeah,
So that is more important for me, not to get typecast. If the role
yeah,
interests me a lot, then I would love to do it. I mean, I don't have any apprehensions of doing a supporting role. I mean, if there is depth to the character and it's something new and very creative.
yeah. Has anybody told you that you do look like Karthik, not Karthik, Surya of the Tamil industry?
Yeah, I mean, I have got a lot of compliments from a lot of my pictures that I look like Surya, and sometimes some people say that I look a lot like Fahad Fazil also. So
Yes,
both
yes,
of them are like big star actors, and I'm a big
yes,
fan
very
of
good
these two
actors.
people. And
Yeah,
they're very good
very good
actors. I've
actors.
seen a lot of work of Surya, and I've seen a lot of work of Fahad Fazil, who I am a big fan of. Recently, I loved him in Vikram also, another mainstream movie, and I mean. Uh, I, I mean, I don't have any issues, but yes, I want to be known as Parta Sarathi Ray, and yes, I
Yeah,
do get compliments that Uh,
yeah,
I, I mean, as science says that we have like say seven lookalikes of us in the entire world. there you will find seven people who resemble your like a particular face or a body particular face
Yeah,
structure.
absolutely.
So I'm sure you will get a lot of that when you are in this profession particularly. So
Yeah. One of the people, Dara, is saying that why is this man favoring film industry? After all, he's an actor too. He will never badmouth about film industry. Here, Dara, I would like to say you're wrong because, in, in fact, when Partha was with us yesterday, he did mention the ills of the film industry and Oriya film industry as well. He did talk about the negative elements, but then see, as a upcoming actor and an award winning actor, he has to also balance his his what he says, because that's the field he is in. You see, he
see,
cannot
it's not
topple the
about
apple
balancing,
cart.
ma'am. It's about being honest. I mean, we cannot
Mm,
change a certain thing. If there's something
yes.
wrong in the system, we can change it only when we acknowledge it. If we don't acknowledge that there's some fault, and how will we find a solution? It's not about I'm
Yeah,
being negative or
exactly.
talking ill about anything.
Yeah,
It's about
yes.
that I'm acknowledging the fact that yes, these things are happening, and these are not just the ills in the film industry. These are happening everywhere in every
Mm,
sector that
mm,
I have seen and I have experienced. So it's not
mm,
just about the film industry, and there are some problems in every particular sector. So we can change that. I'm not saying that 100% can be eradicated, but at least we can try our best and do our bit, and try to bring a small change in the system, which
yeah,
can be on the positive side. So
yeah,
that's what I'm trying to do. It's not about speaking ill about a certain thing.
yes, exactly. And coming to content, because see, content is the most important part of a movie. See
Exactly,
how
ma'am.
important, because see, there's been a very big spate of movies based on biographical or autobiographical stories. So even Oppenheimer is that. So how important is this genre for a movie to become a success?
Ma'am, every genre is important, and
Mm,
it doesn't matter which genre you make a movie in. It's all about the execution, how you tell your story.
mm,
There are, I mean, if you see, there are eight, nine story patterns in the world and nine emotions. So whatever you do will be within that only. So it's all
yeah,
about how creative you are, how you want to tell your story, how engaging your screenplay is, and how you engage the audience as a whole. So
yeah,
you can make a movie in every genre, and yes, content is extremely important. I would say content is king because yes, superstars have done their bit. We are a huge fan of all the superstars. But if you see in the last 5 6 year or 7 years in Hindi film industry, barring a few films of the superstars, almost a lot of Shah Rukh and Salman films are all huge flops. And it was
yes,
during this time that a lot of young actors, talented actors who came and became stars. For example, Ayushmann
yeah,
Khurrana, Rajkumar
mm,
Rao, Vicky Kaushal,
mm,
Kartik Aryan. These people became stars in the Hindi film industry. I mean,
mm,
so I would say that content is extremely important, and I would say that content creates stars than the other way around. It's not stars who make cinema; it's cinema which creates stars.
yeah,
So, but yes, hats off to all the big stars who have done wonders and who have
yeah,
like helped the industry grow a lot. Be it the Khans, Akshay Kumar, Ajay Devgan, Hrithik Roshan. They have been very important in the South. There are many stars like be it Kamal Hassan, Rajnikant sir, all those big stars, Vikram, Allu Arjun, Prabhas, Mahesh Babu. I'm a big fan of all these people. I watch a lot of their movies, and recently, I mean, of course, I'm following Vijay Sethupathi sir and Fahad Fazil a lot, and I'm a big fan of these two people.
So Zoya is asking, would you be happy if you really succeed in your industry, or would you still want to make it big in Bollywood, like every inspiring and upcoming actor wants to, sadly?
I want to work in every industry. Like it's not just about the Odia film industry. Of course, I am doing decent here. I have earned a certain name and credibility in this Odia film industry. Though it's a smaller market, I aspire to work in Hindi film industry. I aspire to work in big South Indian films too, and aspire to work in Hollywood too. I want to work in the Hollywood industry, and I am being an actor. I don't want to be like limited to a certain space or a certain language or
Yeah.
genre only. I want to be an actor, an international star and actor. So that's what I aspire to be. I will try, and let's see. I mean, if destiny has it in me, if it has it in store for me, then I will definitely succeed.
Have you been following the Sushant Singh Rajput story? Do you know? Are you aware of it? And do you want to make any
Of course,
comment?
ma'am. Uh, it is extremely
The
unfortunate
reason,
because
the reason
Sushant
why I
was
say
again a very
this,
talented guy.
Partha, is because see, we this channel itself started after he died, and we wanted to expose everything that happened after he died. So there has been an ongoing sort of mission for all of us to give him justice, get him justice, and a lot of the evils of the industry was exposed by him, because he was the kind of very fresh,
Whistleblower.
uh, yes, and a young actor who was not scared of anything. He wanted to tackle things as they were. So very few people are there in the industry, such as was Sushant. So if would you like to comment on that?
Ma'am, I was a fan of Sushant, and yes,
Mm,
I followed his work a lot. And I don't know, I mean, the uproar that happened after his demise, that also was a little biased because I would say a lot of media trials happened and people were like blamed and given verdicts on without even a proper court trial and without law taking its own course. Again, what happened to Sushant was unfortunate. But I remember when he appealed to people that please come and watch my films. I remember I went and watched Vyomkesh Bakshi in theaters. I went and watched Son Chiraya in theaters, but not a lot of people did that. And after his
mm.
death, people are like complaining. I remember a very stupid film also released during that time, which got a lot of theaters. And I don't mind naming the movie that was Student of the Year too. It, it's a personal choice. As a viewer, I can say that I didn't like that film. That was very silly movie. But Son Chire was a beautiful film. Unfortunately, it didn't do good at the box office, and it didn't get much theaters. And Sushant appealed to a lot of people, public, that please come and watch. I'm being kind of ostracized in the industry, and he had appealed that. I mean, I remember he had said that. So these kind of things happen in every industry. But people, I don't know why they targeted only Bollywood and said boycott Bollywood, boycott Hindi film industry. They did that. If you talk about nepotism, I think the Telugu film industry is the biggest example of that. I mean, tell me a big star except Vijay Deverakonda who's not a star kid
Even
or who's not a big producer
Kerala,
kid.
yeah,
Even
yeah,
same thing
even
is
Kerala.
in Kerala also.
Mm,
It happens everywhere. Like so,
mhm.
you cannot just take that out of equation and say that only the Hindi film industry is corrupt and these things are happening in the Hindi film industry. Wrong things are happening everywhere. There will be bias, but it's about how you are doing. Sushant Singh was already an established star, so maybe he was very over ambitious, and that's the reason why he got into depression because he was kind of ostracized and he was not getting a lot of theaters. Even a big star like Ajay Devgan had complained about the kind of the Hindi film industry mafia when Yash Raj films Jab Tak Hai Jaan was not giving like taking most of the theaters, and they were not getting his movies. Son of Sardar was not getting theaters, but fortunately during that time both of the films were successful at the box office and did more than 100 crores at the box office, which is a good thing. But yes, a lot of bias had happened to Sushant Singh Rajput because he was supposed to star in a lot of big director films which didn't go to
Yeah,
him, and due to some
yeah,
internal politics,
politics.
it went to some other actors. So that is
Yeah.
very unfortunate, I would say. Um,
Mm.
and regarding the justice, I think law will take its own course, and may justice prevail. And if something wrong had happened to him and his assistant, or I think his personal secretary, who also died during that time, the
Yeah,
lady, I don't remember the name.
Disha
Um,
Sadia.
I Disha Sayan, yeah. I hope like they get justice, and if something wrong had happened to them, then it should be taken care of by the law.
Yeah.
So that's
So
how it will
coming
happen.
to,
But again,
yeah, yeah, coming to back to your role in movies, how do you prepare for suppose you're given a script and that in a particular role that how do you prepare for it, Partha? Could you tell us a little bit more about the way you prepare for a role?
again, I mean, the first thing I do is that I go through the scripts a few times. Sometimes we don't get scripts and because our industry is not very organized. Though I refuse 95% of the movies without scripts when they
Oh,
approach me.
that's very
Sometimes
difficult.
it's a yeah. Sometimes the money is decent and the team is good. Sometimes they're very affectionate, so you can't say no. I do that. But most of the times, yes, my first requirement is a good script. Give me a script. I go through the script, and it's not the dialogues that I focus on. It's about the journey of that character. And
Yeah.
sometimes when I see that what exactly this character is from, the background he belongs to, his educational qualification, all these things play a very important role in playing the character. So my aim is always to become the character and live that character, live those moments that he is, uh, whatever he's doing on screen. And I, at the same time, also prepare a backstory of that character. Like, if he's
Yeah.
doing this at this particular moment, then what must have been his journey? I mean, what was his state of mind before this? So that is what I play. I focus mostly on the inner politics of that character. So that is
Yeah.
more important than what he's saying on screen. Those are small things, but it makes a huge difference. And those small nuances, that is what differentiates between a normal actor and a good actor. And
Yeah.
if you see, I mean, everybody is saying their dialogues confidently in the Hindi film industry, but why people talk about Amir, Irfan, Manoj Bajpayee, Nawaz, KK Menon? Why do they stand out amongst the
Mm,
others?
mm,
In the recent times, the big stars, if you see Ranbir Kapoor, Ranveer Singh,
mm,
why they
mm,
stand out other than, I mean, in front of the other actors? Like, there are a lot of other
mm,
actors who are also doing good, but
mm,
why these people stand out? Because they're doing things a certain way. So
mm.
you have to be honest to your craft. So that is more important.
Yeah.
So that's what I try to do my best, and I try to focus on those particular aspects of that character. So that's
Yeah.
how I prepare.
So Partha,
So I
as
believe in a
you,
balance of method and spontaneity. There
yeah,
has to be both.
yeah, Partha, as you grow bigger, your name grows, more wider. See, most actors also lose their private life, you know, and that becomes another factor that you need to face as you grow bigger. Does that bother you?
Sometimes it can be disturbing because I don't know. People should also understand that an
Do you get
artist or
recognized wherever you go?
a lot of places, Odia, it's the same like the Mumbai film industry. I've seen in Mumbai, like, a lot of people recognize, but they're not thronged unless until you are a big, big star. Here,
Mm,
there are, of course, there are a few stars who get thronged everywhere they go. And yes, I get recognition whenever I go to
mm,
any function. A lot of people come and recognize me, and they take selfies and autographs. But I don't know. I have not seen the huge stardom kind of a thing, like where people are like crazy about you or something. Um, that is something that it's a personal thing how you handle it. I believe you have to draw a balance somewhere. You have to
yeah,
understand that artists are public figures, not public property.
yeah,
So this is where you have to draw the line, like
yeah,
how much part you want to reveal about yourself, because there are
yeah,
few things that should be private to yourself and should not be a part of public discussion, and or not be in the public domain.
mm,
So this is why you have to draw a balance, and it's an individual thing and a personal thing. I mean, it's something that you can only plan and manage.
yeah.
Nobody can teach you.
In Bollywood, people usually complain about rigged awards, awards that are rigged. Even IFA awards, they're all planned and plotted and given to the people that are they who do them the most favors. So do you have you faced any such situation where the awards are rigged and you didn't get your due?
It happens everywhere. It happens here also. There are many awards that are done by, like, they're done by private people. For example, a few producers here, they kind of have formed associations among themselves, and they start doing some kind of awards, and they give it to whoever is close to them, or it goes on a complete sycophantic system. So that is the reason why I don't go to most of the award functions. And the only credible awards for me are the government awards, be it the national awards or the state film awards, or even some big international film festivals or the Indian panorama. I believe in that. Yes, I mean, these are subjective things. For some people, Amir may be the best. For some, Shahrukh may be the best. For some, someone else may be the best. So it's a very subjective thing. And every time there's some announcement, there will be some upsets, but when there's too much of a bias, it's extremely visible. For example, the year Randeep Hooda played the character of Sarabjit, everybody knew that he deserves some kind of recognition and some awards. He was not even there in the shortlisted category.
Mm,
He was not even there in the
mm,
nomination. So that was very disturbing, and that shows that these things are biased. Yes, there were
yeah,
some amazing other performances also, and some actors that did amazing. I mean, but at least those
Yeah.
5, 7 nominations,
See, it's
those have
like,
to be perfect at least.
yeah, Partha, it's like in Kerala, all the awards go to either Mohanlal or to Mammootty.
Yeah,
Nobody else exists. All the
I
other
know.
young actors, remain there.
Yeah.
And these people have to really die for the youngsters to get some sort of award. So it's happening all over.
All over. It happens everywhere.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So what happened, Partha, is that, see, as far as Bollywood, you see, I've been in the film, in like in journalism for a long time, and I've gone out and worked with newspapers and all that. And what I've noticed is that in Bollywood, very rarely, do they come out with original scripts. Okay, the scripts are always anti-Hindu, you know, and always the characters are, it's like you have a love jihad going on. So there is an agenda from Pakistan that's coming in, and that's playing, a huge game. And of course, this is because of the cabal. We all know that. And what happened was, because they were given, so much money, a lot of the superstars, thought that, see, just by, doing some action, they become popular or famous. But off late, what they have realized is that all that, is of no use. You need to be really good at your craft for you to succeed. And these small, very small budget movies have proved that, see, that just by being yourself and acting normally, all these films and these film actors have been getting accolades, and they've
Recognition, yeah.
been minting money, so crores of money. And this is all word of mouth. It's not even through, because PR won't do it. Bollywood PR will
Yes.
never promote your movie. Okay, they will never say, for example, now, even if you're very famous, if Bollywood realizes you're famous, they will, try to make sure that, your name is not mentioned, because, see, they're scared. You see, because when you stand against a very mediocre superstar, they get insecure. And it is this insecurity that makes them, push away, any outsider, and say that, see, better to push him away, because otherwise, see, in comparison with me, people will know that, see, I'm useless. So this is something I've been observing, Partha, for a long time, and we've been very critical about it. And you have the honor of being the first actor to come on my platform. So so congratulations for that.
Pleasure, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. It's an honor then.
Because even those who are, those actors or actresses who are central neither here or there, they do not come, because they feel that if they come on my channel, that they will, become, slotted. So just for your
I do not have
information.
that fear because in here also in Odisha, I have been very straightforward about what I feel about the cinema that was happening in the last 20 years. And I have never been to most of my movies that have been successful are all indie films. I mean, I've never
Yeah,
been to I never go to big channels and like kind of beg for work or I've never done those kind of things. And the insecurity thing that you're talking about, it happens everywhere. It exists here also in Odisha. And that will happen because when you know that someone more talented is growing and he's doing good, there will be some sort of certain level of insecurity among the big stars that
yeah.
will exist.
Mm.
But at the same time, there should be this healthy competition. I mean, I would say there's no competition. There's room for everyone. I mean, everybody is
Yeah,
working in their genre, so you have to adapt and you have to kind of keep evolving and work
yeah,
on your craft and be better at what you're doing. So that should be there. That should be the norm. But again, I mean,
yeah,
these things are happening, of course. But I'm glad that, those small movies, like, for example, Badhai Ho, which was made on a budget of around 20 crores, did more than 250 crores of business. Same goes for Tanu Waits Manu Returns. Again, it was
yeah.
around 20 crores budget and did a business of around 300 crores. So these movies, give hope and hope that, your content has to be good. If the content is good, then it will work. Even Stree,
You
starring Rajkumar Rao, that film also did around 150 crores. So
yeah.
these are great,
Partha,
great examples of.
yeah, when you like to tell stories, or you like to listen to stories, there is a tendency for you to put yourself in the director's shoes, and imagine how you would have made that movie differently. Okay.
Yeah.
So I did also put on the director's shoes, and I did a couple of documentaries. And like I
Okay.
mentioned yesterday, see, when you go to the distributor, the first thing they ask you is, do you have an item song? Okay.
Yeah.
And if you don't have that, okay, do you have a comedian? No, you don't have that. Then what else is there? I mean, we can't have,
Who's the
we
star?
can't sell your movie,
Who is
yeah,
starring
market
in the
your
movie?
movie. Yeah. So usually, what we do is art and culture. So here, what I want to ask you is, in Oriya movies, do you have this sort of format where without these two,
Yes.
your movie can become a success?
Yes, ma'am. I mean, at least at the distribution level, when you don't get good theaters, you don't get good slots or screen timings, then it becomes very difficult. My recent movie also faced the same thing. So I think this happens everywhere. It's not just about the bigger industries, it happens in the smaller industries too. So
Yeah,
you have to face it,
absolutely.
and you
Yeah,
kind of you have to keep
yeah.
knocking the door till it
Mm.
breaks or opens.
Yeah. Recently I was just watching a very simple, a very short movie called Threshold. And this is of Neena Gupta and, the other actor's name I don't remember. But this is just, a few scenes. But the kind of impact that movie has on you, it is that stage in a couple's life where they have reached the, evening of their life. And how, the wife is actually questioning the husband for taking her for granted, you know, and why she wants to move out of the, relationship, at this late stage. So, for as a husband, he's not able to understand her emotions because he always thought that, see, she's happy with life, but she never spoke about that. It was all silent, and now she wants to enjoy her life, which she's not done. Now her son is married and all, and she wants to enjoy it. So these are the emotions that are portrayed in that simple movie called Threshold,
Simple one.
and how they're so interdependent on each other. Though she says, she can be alone without him, certain scenes show that no, she can't. Similarly, he thinks that he can live without her, but he can't because over the years they've become so interdependent that they have become one body and one soul.
One soul.
So it's brilliantly taken because see, certain scenes from that remind you of what you yourself undergo. And that is what, when it strikes a chord within you, that a movie becomes a hit. Of course, see, actresses like Neena Gupta are a few of the gems in the movie
The film
industry.
industry. Yeah.
Yes, yes. And as you mentioned, some other names as well. So what happens is these people keep the flame, burning, and we still believe, that there can be some good films and some good actors. So I'm sure when you say that Oriya movies are changing and new content is coming, new directors, new actors are coming, and there's a change in the way people are thinking. That itself shows that people are now open for new ideas.
New ideas.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yes, ma'am, I mean, it
So I
doesn't matter which platform you are telling a story about
yeah,
on or telling a story on. It's
yeah,
all about the connect that you have. So the first most important thing is writing, and
yeah,
how much of that writing you kind of represent on screen. That's all. That
yeah,
also matters. If
yeah.
you kind of bring 70-80% of what has been written, then
Mm,
it's a very successful film, I would say. As I
yeah.
say, like you can always make a bad film out of a good script, but you can never make a good film out of a bad script. That's true.
Yeah. And also, one last question before we wind up, Partha. How technically advanced have we become in the film industry?
We still lag behind, man. With limited resources and limited budget that we have in the Odia film industry, there are a lot of departments that we have to let go of and we are not able to focus on because of those budget constraints. But still, we are trying our best not to compromise on the audiovisual aesthetics because that is the basic. When you're making a movie, that is the basic. So why I focus on originality and why I focus on a term called cinema logistics is because for example, in Hollywood, they have huge budgets and their studio backups big stories. And in the film industry, if you have a big star backing your story and you are tied up with a big studio, then budget is not a constant. Whatever you write can be provided by the production house to represent it on or present it on screen. In Odia film industry, first you have to think of the like you have to ask about the budget, what the producer or the financer has in mind. For example, if he gives a certain budget, you have to think of a story that you can tell beautifully without compromise on the basic
Yeah.
technical aspects like the
What?
audio visual aesthetics. How you can tell a beautiful story within that budget. For example, if you're given
Yeah.
a budget of 50, 60 lakhs, you cannot
Yeah.
think of a grand action film. It's
No,
practically
you can't.
impossible. You cannot think
Yeah.
of a film with loaded with VFX. You cannot do that. I mean, these things cost
Mm,
money. So
mm,
if you try to like do that or emulate that, and for example, as I mentioned about the substandard copy paste culture of Odia films,
mm.
if you take a 50, 60 crore film and try to do that within a budget of 50, 60 lakhs, it would become an unintentional comedy because it's practically
Yeah.
impossible to match that grandeur. The only
Yeah.
thing that is cheaper in Odisha is the labor cost. You can save
Yeah.
a bit on that, but that is only a few, like 1% of the entire film budget. So you
Yeah.
cannot you cannot like think of something big and try to put that kind of canvas within a very small budget. So the
Yeah.
knowledge of cinema logistics is extremely important for a filmmaker or the team that you're associated with. So that's the reason why I listen to scripts and ask them what exactly is the film budget and what exactly you're planning to mount it on. So that
Mm,
is extremely important.
yeah. So here, let me just answer a couple of questions that the people have said. Uh, so Dhara, see, I think it's RK who says that RK says that uh, Partha, don't say SSR was in depression, he was brutally murdered by these druggy bullies. See, at no stage did he say that. Partha did not say that he was, in depression. So let us not put words in his mouth. Partha was very clear that, see, what happened to him was sad. And that's something that the industry has lost a very good actor. So that's one thing. And second point, I see, Dhara, that you
I
say,
mentioned about the depression part, which I saw in the newspapers
yeah,
and whatever I
yes,
saw in the media.
yes,
See, if people are like passing their verdict by
yeah,
seeing media trials, I just
yeah.
mentioned that yes, he was going through some disturbing phase because he had openly came and mentioned that
So
I'm being
here,
ostracized
yeah,
and
I'll
sidelined in the
just
industry.
interrupt you,
That's what
Partha.
I mentioned.
Uh,
Yeah,
yeah, Partha, I'll just interrupt you here because, see,
sorry.
past 3 years we've been uh, dissecting the case inside out,
Okay,
you
okay,
know,
okay.
and we all know who are the people involved, and even more than the CBI, okay, and more than the
Okay.
federal agencies we have,
I'm
every
really
detail
sorry. I
of
don't
what
know
has
about
happened.
that, so I
Yeah,
cannot
no,
just come
no,
and
it's
say that
okay.
he was
Don't
brutally
worry.
murdered.
No, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just telling you. Yeah. So we know the inside out of what happened in the SSR case and who are the culprits, who are the people involved. Everything we have in detail. This is what I'm telling you.
Okay.
More than the federal agencies. If we are asked, we can give you everything. But what I'm saying is that, see, Partha, this is the reason why Bollywood has been boycotted. It is not because of anything else. Because Sushant Singh himself exposed everything, and he was going to go do a press conference, to
Okay.
divulge the child trafficking happening in Bollywood. So,
Okay.
like
Nice.
a Hollywood movie has come out, Sound of Freedom, where child trafficking in USA has been exposed. Similarly, in Bollywood, Sushant Singh was the one who was going to expose child trafficking in Bollywood, and that's why he was these people, he and his friends were eliminated. This is the strong feeling that we have now. See, as far as Dhara, what you say, because I'd like to answer questions that are coming up. I can only relate to you from today's session, must say. So, Dhara, see, I would not say that your opinion is the correct opinion because, see, by saying boycott to Bollywood, we cannot boycott good movies. Okay.
Exactly. I
At
want
no
films to be
stage,
judged on
yeah,
merit.
yeah. At no stage have we boycotted the Kerala story or the Kashmir files, okay, or Kantara. Okay, we've not boycotted any of this. When these are movies are not made on the blood of children, okay, or on any devious methods, we are with the director, we are with the producer, and we are with the stars. So let
See,
us
there
not,
are
Dara,
many,
let us not
ma'am, there
come
are
out with
many
sweeping
outsiders, there are
statements.
many
Yeah,
hardworking, hardworking people in the industry who are trying to tell a beautiful story and they're also working
yeah,
independently. I mean, we should support them. If they're doing a good film, we should go and
exactly,
support them. I mean,
exactly.
we don't want to produce more Sushant Singh Rajput. and I'm
Absolutely.
sure we don't want to produce more of that. So it's
Yeah.
not about
Yeah.
boycotting a
So this is
particular.
my message to RK and to Dara and many of you. Please do not have a complete see. This is like stereotyping things. Okay. We have decided that
Exactly.
we will boycott Bollywood because of a certain reason, and we've done it. And we have succeeded and we have made them understand this. But that doesn't mean you boycott anything that is good and that's done in the way of creativity. So let us not say that. Let us be very, very clear in what we are saying and showing. We do not have any double standards. We're not, and the very reason that I called in Partha is because I have been watching Partha's, career as an actor and the kind of awards he's been getting. If he is a good actor and he's a rising star in Oreo movies, then he needs to get all the publicity that he deserves. And let me also tell you that he did not ask me, for an interview. I volunteered because I heard about it. And I wanted to feature more and more good actors. Just like in the Kerala story, I interviewed the director, Sudipto Sen. So that is because the movie is excellent.
And the DOP of Kerala Story was the DOP of my national award winning movie Hello RC,
Yes, yes,
Mr. Prashantanu Mahapatra. He was the
yeah,
dean of FTII cinematography department,
yeah,
and he was the cinematographer for our movie Hello RC, and he's also the cinematographer for
yes,
Kerala Story.
yes. So what just as I said, see, I respect Partha, and the very fact that see yesterday when he came itself, see everybody who came on the show had only respect for this young actor because he comes out across as a very down to earth actor, and I'm sure given his background he will remain this way despite fame and everything. He will remain this way. This is up to him, of course. We can only
Of course,
expect
ma'am.
this
And
out of him from So I
that
wish
will
for him.
remain, man, because I don't know. I mean, whoever knows me, I mean, when whatever behavior I was showing towards people at the beginning of my career, I'm the same right now. So
Yeah,
it's never going to change. So it doesn't matter.
yeah.
I have already climbed a few steps. It doesn't matter if I climb a few more steps. I'm going to change as a human being. I'll be the same human being.
Yeah. So Zoya says, I went and watched Kerala Story in the theater after 3 years of boycott Bollywood. We will continue supporting good movies, Partha. So this is what she's saying. And Ree
Of
is
course,
saying,
that
dear
should be the
friends,
norm. If there are any good
yeah,
movies, please support that,
yeah.
irrespective of the language
Uh,
or the genre it belongs to.
Yeah. So Ree is saying that we purely boycott Bollywood and not other movies. And then we have Meera, real talent should not be boycotted. Yes, we are right. We don't want another Sushant Singh Rajput. See, here, let me just also say one more thing, friends. See, in the Kerala industry, very small budget movies are being made by unknown actors and unknown directors. And they come out so brilliant because you don't know who the heroine is. Okay, she's not a famous actress, and the hero is not your handsome tall guy. He's just an ordinary middle class man. So what happens is you're able to relate, and these movies are becoming such big hits. So
Exactly.
please do not look down upon creativity and brush it with the same strokes that you see in public. Then again, we also become like the Bollywood PR. Let us not be that. Let us be intellectual. Let us decide what is good
Be
and what
rational.
is bad. Yes, and be rational. So on that note, Partha, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so
And
much,
I
man.
knew you were very busy with all your promotions and all that. So thank you for joining us and
My pleasure,
telling
man.
us the complete experience, as an Oriya actor, and wish you a lot more success in the future.
Thank you so much, man. Thanks a lot.
Good night.
Good night.